Welcome to another Cooking with Santa Roger. And before we get started, I'd like to introduce you to my fantastic person behind the camera. Why, it's Mrs. Claus.
Hi everybody, how are you doing today? Are you ready for some fun? We're gonna do one of my favorite recipes today. This is what I love for lunch.
And that favorite is macaroni and cheese. You know, I talk to little kids, I always ask them, what's your favorite dish? And it's a pretty much tie between mac and cheese and pizza. Well, we've already made pizza, so today we're going to make mac and cheese. Now, mac and cheese is one of those things that you can actually buy a packaged in the store, and it tastes pretty good. But if you take a notice, if you look at that cheese yellow mixture, if you get it on your hands, it'll stain your hands yellow. So, you know, I guess that's okay. But today we are going to make our own delicious mac and cheese.
But Santa, don't forget to wash your hands before
yes,
you start cooking.
Yes, first thing we need to do is wash our hands. We always wash our hands, get them wet. Then we add our soap. Let's see, here we go. Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Vixen and Blixen and all his reindeer pulling on the reins. Bum, 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 because Santa Claus comes tonight. Yes, all right. Now our hands are nice and clean. Well, let's see, I think next maybe we can talk about our ingredients. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to make quite as much as a recipe because I really don't need a lot, but it's the same process. So we'll start off with 8 ounces of elbow macaroni. Now, next thing we need is about 1/4 cup of butter, and we're going to need 1/4 cup of flour. And we're going to need just a little bit, maybe 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 cups of milk. Now, if you really want to get delicious, you can use a combination of whole milk or half milk and cream. Oh, is that good? But, you know, Santa can't do cream right now, so we'll just stick with skim milk, and then the same 2 cups of cheese. All right, so the first thing we need to do is to preheat our oven to 350 degrees. So we'll preheat our oven to 350 degrees. Okay, and the next thing we're going to do is get the water boiling for our macaroni. Stop. All right, now what we need to do, we need to get lots of water, and what you need to do when you're doing pasta, as much water as you can. You don't have to really measure it, just fill your pot almost full. And then I just have some olive oil here. And the olive oil stops the pasta from sticking together. So it doesn't matter whether you're using macaroni, linguine, whatever, spaghetti, the same thing. And then we also want to put in a little bit of salt.
Why do you use salt, Santa?
Well, if you put the salt while you're cooking it, then it absorbs the taste. When you just put it after it's already cooked, if you add the salt, you won't get that same intense flavor. You won't take advantage of the salt.
It makes it boil faster too, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Oh, Science 101. Very good. You must have gotten an A in science. All right. Okay, while we're waiting for the water to boil, the next thing we're going to do is take our flour and our butter. And we're going to make, and have equal amounts of butter and flour. We call that a roux. And we'll talk about that as we go. So what we do is that we add the butter, and when you're making a roux, the first thing you do is melt the butter. And we want to do this on a fairly low temperature. So I'm going to melt this butter. Now when you're making a roux, you're going to slowly add the flour to the melted butter. Now as you see, there are actually 3 types of roux that you can make. You can make a golden roux, a white roux, or a really dark roux. And we'll talk about that a little later. But today we're just going to be interested in just the white roux. Okay, as you can see, our butter is all melted. Okay, now what we're going to do, very slowly, we're going to add the flour. Make it just a little bit at a time, and we'll get it really smooth. And we just see how easy that is. Oh, that's going to look, oh, that's easy. See, anybody can do this. We'll add a little bit more. And we'll stir that all around. Then we'll add the rest of it. There we go. And we'll just stir this around. And then what we're going to do is we need to cook this about 3 minutes, because what you want to do is by cooking it, then you'll get rid of that floury taste. Otherwise, all you're doing is just serving paste, because that's how you make paste. So we'll just turn the heat down just a little bit and slowly do this. We'll do this about a couple minutes here. Now, you can see, oh, doesn't that look smooth? That looks pretty good. Now we're slowly going to add the milk.
Why can't you just dump it in?
Well, you probably could, but if you just dump it in slowly, then you'll get rid of the lumps. You can just see how smooth this is going to be. See how smooth that? Oh, that's looking really good. Now, if you add some salt and pepper to this, another name for this roux is called old-fashioned white gravy. And then if you just want to put a little sausage and black pepper in it, you'd have country gravy. But this is used for lots of things. But that's just, it's called, and if you put some other seasoning in this, we'd have a bechamel sauce. But right now we're just going to, and this is going to take this about 2 to 3 minutes to thicken. So see how smooth this is?
It really gets hot, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Oh, speaking of hot, that's a good point. Now, for your little ones, because we're doing boiling water and we're doing, this is over high heat, you should probably let mom and dad do this. I would think anybody about the 6th or 7th grade or above could do this. But for your little ones, you should let mama or daddy or your big brother, big sister do this part of it. But what you can do, you can still help out measuring, and we'll show you here pretty soon. There's some more things that you can do, so you're not left out also. So you can also, another thing you can do, you can be watching the water, and when you see lots and lots of bubbles coming out, you can say, "Hey mama, hey, there's the bubbles." And when we see the bubbles, we put in the macaroni. All right. In fact, I think I see some bubbles. So when we see the bubbles, then we can add the macaroni. All right, I'll just stir that a little bit. And when it comes back to boil, we want to cook this about 7 to 8 minutes. So I'll put my timer here for 8 minutes, because we do not want to overcook your macaroni. All right. So we'll let that cook, and this is going to thicken up here. Stop. See, oh man, this is really good. Look how thick it is and nice. Now, I've got a secret ingredient, nutmeg. It's not in the recipe, but it's just something I've added. It really gives, I just grate a little bit of nutmeg in there. And if you don't have one of these, you can buy it already grated. Or, you know, it won't hurt if you don't put it in, but it really gives it a great taste. And just a little bit of salt, not very much, and just a pinch of pepper. Okay, we'll turn the heat down. Okay, now that's that in there, and the next thing we know is that we add our 2 cups of milk. Oh, here. Oh, we already did. Did I have my 2 cups of milk?
You did.
I guess I already did. Well, you're on top of it, Mrs. Claus. Thank you. Okay, we are just about ready for what's going to be the best part. What do you think we should add next?
Cheese.
Cheese! Okay, I think we can add our cheese. Oh, that looks good. See how smooth this is? So, let me review. So you melt the butter, then you slowly add the flour. And then when that has got a good mix to it, then you slowly add your milk. And just very, very slowly, you just keep stirring. And then you're going to end up with a very, very, oh, look how smooth that is. That's what you want. That's pretty good if I do say so myself. And now, a piston de resistance, whatever that means. I heard that in a movie once. Okay, so we add a little bit of cheese. And we can turn the heat way down. And we'll add some cheese. Just mix it around. And what I have mixture half and half of white cheese and yellow cheese. Now, depending upon how you like it, you could have a mild cheese, you could have a cheddar cheese. It really doesn't make any difference. Well, you can just start seeing that yellow color.
It seems like everything you're just adding a little bit at a time and stirring it before you just don't put the whole bowl.
Yeah, that's really important in whatever you're cooking, just a little bit at a time. Otherwise, it won't clump up on you. Okay. And this is a pretty good cheese sauce. And you could also use this if you like cauliflower. You could pour this over cauliflower. You could pour it over broccoli. All sorts of things. All right. Okay, that looks pretty good. So let's just see, double contaminate here. Okay, you make sure you don't want to burn your tongue. Oh, that's good. Wow, you know what? That's really good. I just not say that. Okay, looks like we got about a minute left on our macaroni. And we'll finish the macaroni. Then we'll put it all together. See if our macaroni is done. We just did, okay, now, this is really hot, so you want to go. That's perfect. That's perfect.
How do you know it's perfect?
Well, it's not mushy, and it just, or I guess the best description would be firm. Firm, but not mushy. Again, that was about 8 minutes, just worked out perfect. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump this into a colander. Then after I dump it in the colander, then I will dump the macaroni into the cheese mixture and stir it up. So we'll go from there. So let's dump this now. Okay, now that that's drained, we'll dump it into the cheese mixture. Okay, we're going to just slowly, slowly. Now, the kind you buy in the store, you could actually just serve it like this. This would be called stovetop macaroni and cheese, and it's okay. It's okay, but we're going to show you how you really, really make this good. All right. As you can see, it is really well mixed. And now what we're going to do, we're going to put it in a baking pan. So I've got a baking pan here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray it. Okay, now I have marble here, so it's easy for me to just place this right on the marble. If you don't have marble, you might want to get a cutting board. It's okay, but let's make sure it's, I don't want you guys burning yourself. So we just, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, man. No, too bad you don't have smell-o-vision to even smell the cheese. Ah. Okay, now, at this point, we've got a lot of options. One is that we can leave it just like this, and that's what we're going to do today. But guess what? You can put some bacon in there. You can put some ham. You can put some pepperoni. You can put some sausage, some hamburger. Anything that you can imagine, you could put in here. And
Even vegetables?
Vegetables? Yeah, I guess you could put vegetables in there. Yes, you could. But here's another thing you can do. Let's say you got 3 kids, and one wants pepperoni, another one wants sausage, and another one wants shrimp. So what you could do, you could take out maybe something like, something like this. You could divide this into 3 bowls, then each person could fix their own. That way the whole family's doing it. Or what you could do, you can make a whole bunch of this, and then it freezes very easily. You could put it into individual or family size containers, and then just freeze it. Did I mention what this purple stuff was in this purple? Oh, I don't think I did. Okay, what this is, it's just a mixture. What I have here is some breadcrumbs and some called Japanese panko, but anything would work. You got bread, you could chop up Fritos, you could chop up some potato chips, and then I put about, let's see, this is about 1 cup of breadcrumbs and about 3 tablespoons full of butter. So I just mix that up, and oh, one more thing. I love cheese. I just absolutely love cheese. Again, this isn't in the recipe, but it's not going to hurt anything. I'm just going to put a little bit more cheese in. Oh, yes. Again, just because I like cheese. If you don't like as much cheese, although if you're eating macaroni and cheese, I think you'd want cheese, but that's okay. Okay, we got that mixed up. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we're just going to sprinkle this on here. I have more than I need, but we'll just top it. Oh, look at that. We just want to cover it. And this will just give it really nice, make it really nice and crunchy. Okay, our oven's preheated, and I'm estimating we'll check it in about, I'd say 15 minutes. We'll check it and see how it looks. So put it on the medium rack, right there, and we'll set our timer for 15 minutes. Because all we're doing is just browning the topping, because basically the macaroni and cheese are already cooked. So we'll come back in a bit and we'll take a look and see what it looks like. 35 minutes, so let's check it. Okay, I can see that it's golden brown, and I'll bring it out, and this is just perfect. Okay. Now what you have to do, I know this is the toughest part, you've got to let it rest about 15 minutes so the cheese and everything will just set. And you can cover it with a foil. And we'll come back in 15 minutes and check it out. In 15 minutes, let's take a look. All right, we'll just take a little bit here. Oh, look how cheesy that is. Okay. Well, bon appetit. That's pretty good. Why don't you try it, Mrs. Claus?
Okay. That's so good. Thank you.
Thank you for watching, and I hope you can share this with your friends, and I hope this is a recipe that you and your family can do together. And also, I'd like to thank 2 of my friends, Jen and Stephanie, for bringing me groceries. you know, in these times, Santa and Mrs. Claus, we decided it's just better to stay inside. It's just going to be a lot safer. And also, I just got notice from my elves up in Oregon that a friend of mine, Miranda, she has been such a good girl, and she's been working on her preschool work, and she's been working on this U.S. Puzzle. And I understand she's almost finished with it, so congratulations, Miranda. Keep up the good work. Again, thank you for watching, and next show will be chicken nuggets.